The second one is the very dismal in a way, but again, promising, depends on one's point of view, reality in the Palestinian political scene, if you want. On the one hand, I don't recall, as an historian of the Palestinian national movement and people, such a confused period. I mean, the Palestinians had their share of confusion and disarray and fragmentation ever since we recognized them as a defined national group, if you want. But this particular year and the year before that, the fragmentation reached new levels. The indecision reached new levels. The disconnection between those who claim to be the political leaders, to represent the representative institutions and the people at large, the gap between these two was never as wide as it is now. There is a positive and a negative way to look at it. The negative way is, of course, that you would want, very much as you wanted the Palestinians in 1948, and it didn't happen, that in such a crucial juncture, when the project of eliminating the Palestinians, which is the basic aim of the Zionist project, is about to reach a new culmination, you would have wanted the Palestinians to have a united leadership. You would want the Palestinians to have a clear solidarity and unity. But there isn't. You can't sort of artificially claim that it exists just because you want it to exist. So that's the negative side. What is the positive side? Is that one of the reasons that politics from above in Palestine, including representative politics from above, have lost their touch with the people on the ground, is that the people on the ground are taking their own future into their own hands. Very much as they did in Tunisia, in Egypt, and probably are doing elsewhere in the Arab world. Very much as people were trying to do, and maybe will still succeed in doing, in the United States, in Spain, in this country, and so forth. And that is a chaotic moment. It is a chaotic moment when you disrobe yourself of old political formation and leaderships, and you try to create something new. And before you create something new, there is a period of indecision. As I say, unfortunately, it comes at a time when, unlike maybe for people in the United States and in Spain and the United Kingdom, or even in Egypt and Tunisia, the people of Palestine are still not out of the danger of being obliterated in a way as a people. I'm not talking about the genocide, I'm talking about being taken out of the historical map altogether. And one has to hope very much like the two paces I've described in the West, where you have, on the one hand, a pace by which new forces, new ideas, new energies of young Palestinians mainly are coming to the fore, that this pace would be accelerated and would be as fast, if not even faster, than the pace of the new Israeli plans, whatever they are, to finalize the Palestine question in a way that the Israelis believe would secure their success forever and ever. The last point I want to make, and then I would like to open it, which is happening on the ground, and I think is also very important for the way we develop. And maybe it's the result of the two first issues I was talking about. The disappearance of liberal Zionism and the very confusion and indecision on the Palestinian political scene is also broadcasting the end of the two-state solution. That doesn't mean that a one-state solution is around the corner, but at least it means that those who tell us that there is a two-state solution around the corner are wrong, unless the corner is on Mars or on the moon. But every year we are being told that the two-state solution is just around the corner. I've visited more places than any one of you on the globe. And believe me, there isn't such a corner. There is nothing around the corner. And this is not what is interesting, that for too many years or maybe months, it's quite new, there was a danger in the solidarity movement and also in the Palestinian reality on the ground that supposedly there is a kind of a debate between two-staters and one-staters. And that this really signifies a very important, crucial discussion to be had. I don't think it's true. I don't think it's true. Because there is the same chaotic reality I was talking about before is relevant in mentioning in this case. And that chaotic reality has few components in it that with which I will end my introduction. One is that there is only one political sovereign power between the River Jordan and the Mediterranean, and that is the State of Israel. It rules the life of Palestinians in various ways. It subjects the Palestinians to different kinds of legal regimes that vary from one group to the other, but that's the only political power that controls effectively, directly or indirectly, the life of people who live between the River Jordan and the Mediterranean. That's one component. The second component is that this particular political power is represented by a regime that subscribes to a racist ideology that in any other part of the world would not be tolerated by the international community. And yet, in so many parts in the West, it is still regarded as a democratic regime, a legitimate regime, a very progressive regime. So that's the second component.